Deadly Chaotic Energy contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable to some listeners. Listeners' discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Deadly Chaotic Energy, where two people from across the globe bond over their joint queerness and love of true crime. I am one of your favorite co-hosts, Randy.
And I'm Amy, with a chip in my mouth.
So, are you drinking anything, and why do you drink? Oh, I see. Orange
Sorry,
juice?
I know. I have orange soda because I am fantastic. And
Orange
because
soda sounds delicious.
and because of that I'm still recovering from Ms. Rona, I also have Boost energy drink of like isotonic, which is like the 59p from my local convenience shop, which I 10 out of 10 didn't just go and buy to see a certain someone. Anyway, no, yes, I'm still trying to recover from Rona and get hydrated. Stay hydrated, folks. Oh shit, my headphone's falling out. We're off to a great start here.
And I am drinking.
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Milk.
Why are you drinking?
I am drinking.
I'm doing a fantastic.
We're totally professionals at
We're
this.
very professional. It's not episode 3 or anything.
I am drinking a milkshake.
Ooh, we swapped roles this week. Because I was drinking milkshake last week.
I got the. I don't know if they have Butterfingers over there in the
Oh,
UK.
they do not.
Well, it's like a peanut butter brittle kind of thing. It's an ice cream. It's a type of ice cream brand too. So I put that in there. I added some Bailey's Irish cream in there.
Oh, okay. Getting the alcohol in there somehow.
Yeah, and I got it in salted caramel flavor.
Ooh, sounds lovely.
So yeah, I've been drinking it, waiting for you, and if I do run out, I do have a pineapple beer from previous episodes ago. So
yeah.
I drink because I'm like so close. I'm like this close to quitting my job, and I might do it. I might sell marijuana, like not illegally, but like not illegally, but in a dispensary type of setting.
Yeah,
because it's legal in my state.
Yeah, not legal here. But no, sorry, it was just so like me saying do it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go sell weed." I was like, "Cool, I'm up for that. I'm up for any sort of weed." No, I'm not. I don't smoke weed. I don't do weed. Sorry, Mum, I don't do weed. I promise.
I cannot sell drugs illegally because I might get shot in this parts of town.
Just because you're America, you have guns. Like we just get shouted
if
at.
I was in the UK, yeah, I was gonna say you might get shanked in the UK, but
oh yeah, you definitely get shanked. I grew up in Newcastle. I know you get shanked here, bitch. I fucking hell, Amy.
Clubs in America is that did I just hurt myself or did I get shanked?
Oh,
it's so weird doing a video podcast at the same time because I'm not used to making facial expressions or hand gestures.
I always make facial expressions, just can't usually see it. And also, I am just 10 out of 10 gonna be eating chips this entire time. I do apologize, but I also am not sorry at all.
I put on some slight makeup to make myself not look dead too.
Me too. But then like I've ruined any professional vibe I've given by eating chips.
So my boyfriend got me this ridiculous gift. And it made me it's so fucking stupid, but I love it at the same time. I should probably grab it for you.
Yes, please show me. Show me the true love.
I won't hear you because I just took my earbuds off.
It's fine, I'm just being sarcastic anyway. And I've hijacked the show. It's Amy's show now.
So, he got me a fucking penis plushie.
I low-key love it.
But yeah, he got me this one.
I love it.
I'm like, I wanted the other one. I wanted like the fucking ovary or fucking vagina one. Or
Okay, there's a joke I could make, but I'm not going to.
Fun fact. Look, okay, so fun fact.
Yes.
It can. Correct.
I quit. That's it. I quit. I did not join this podcast to be showing erect penises.
Okay, here's the unerect one.
Hey, it looks like my scar, which I cannot show on this camera, but yeah, it's like an erect penis. Which you...
I don't see it.
Rough, because I can't show it. I'm terrible.
Oh my god, I see it.
I have a penis scar.
Okay, you go back on your bed.
So you have a penis, plus I have a penis scar. We each have a penis in some shape or form.
Well, I am a man, so
I think I noticed. That sounded weird.
Let me check this.
Chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it. Sorry.
I'm gonna get my other drink out just
Oh, no,
so.
it's fine.
Thing is about living with your family is that you need your own personal fridge so they don't eat your food or take your stuff.
I relate to that. That's why I've got my whole flat now, which is fucking expensive. Which is why I'm working tomorrow morning, even though it's technically my day off. Because I got a message from my boss today being like, okay, I don't need a second negative test from you, just advise your boss, as long as you haven't had symptoms for 48 hours, just advise your supervisor when you're going to be back on your operation. And I was like, cool, that means I'm working tomorrow morning because I need money. COVID means I couldn't work. And I live a lavish lifestyle, which means I work a hell of a lot. Although, I live a lavish lifestyle, I'm eating fucking chips. I live a very lavish lifestyle, eating chips.
I just realized
Mm-hmm.
those are French fries, not those are not crisps as you call it.
Because I forgot about that. Yeah, no, it's technically French fries, but to us it's no, it's chips.
Yeah,
It's just chips.
I couldn't tell. I'm like, and then all of a sudden I saw like a cut piece of potato. I'm like, oh,
You just say a
that's a
clit. I'm sure I just heard you say a clit twice.
no cut,
Oh, clit, right.
not clit.
Because I'm not
I
sure I
know
need
you're.
my clit.
I know you're constantly thinking about a
Oh,
woman's
for fuck's
vagina.
sake. Think about what?
I know you're constantly thinking about a woman's vagina, but I'm not saying what you want.
I am not. I just definitely heard it. Okay. We're off to an amazing start. Oh. Hello, welcome to the 10 million detours. But I eat chips
Speaking
and
of
you down your milkshake.
speaking of work, I was supposed to go to work today, but I called out. I do not care.
When are you going to quit? I'm still
I'm trying-
110% down with this. Quit your job. Become a weed dealer. Become a prostitute.
illegal weed dealer. Illegal weed dealer.
Hell, even become a prostitute. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, it wouldn't be. Well, I'm not. Okay, I need to shut up.
That district in my city is terrifying. I do not want to go down there.
I love that. That's what your problem is.
And so I can finally do. Let me open my Discord so I can turn off the noise suppression as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do the crack. Show me your crack.
Oh dear, don't word it like that. I finally got my appropriate alcohol beverage for the show. If you guys want to learn the description of this, go to the first episode. I believe I had it on the first episode.
You did.
And it's time to ASMR, but this time with a twist.
Because you can see it.
I am now caressing this bottle.
I hate you.
And it's so girthy, Daddy. I'm gonna touch the tip of it.
If anyone likes to shoot me, please do, because you're not the only one having to be tortured by this.
And it's gonna bust open.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
You guys ready for this crack? Ready, set, go.
Nice crack.
I don't know if it actually played or not, or sounded.
It did. I heard it. That's why I was like, nice crack.
So since your story is a deep dive and
Oh, mine's a
I'm going
doozy.
first,
Oh,
this is.
should we talk about our theme?
Oh shit! Yo, yeah.
Yeah, we should actually mention that this week we are so organised. As you can tell, we are professional podcasters. We actually have a theme, which is
Yeah. Um,
Murderesses.
aka female murderers.
Okay,
Um,
badass bitches.
so I don't know if there's much to say about female murderers, but I think they do it more. Like on the binary, female murderers are very more quiet about it. They're not using guns.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If you piss off a woman, we will. A gun is too simple.
They'll silently do it.
Poison. Poison's a go-to. Good old arsenic.
Um, oh, arsenic leaves traces in your body. But don't take my word for it, okay? Don't let the authorities know that I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I am not liable for you getting caught.
Thank you. It's the fact you not only assume that I do it, it's that you assume that I get caught doing it.
Who would you need to murder?
I have a list.
Oh, I can't blame you. People suck. So, should we crack into my case?
Yep, we've now talked about murderesses. I'm just gonna sit here eating chips while you talk about murder and beguile me.
All right. Let me zoom it in here so I can read better. So this is about Susan Wright,
Ooh.
aka the Blue-Eyed Murderer
Ooh.
or Killer. I don't know which one it is. So
One of them.
Susan Lucille Wright Nee White was born on April 24th, 1976. I believe she is a Taurus in Houston, Texas. To the parents of Sue Well Nee Tushupi or Tushepe and Jimmy Lawrence White.
Cool.
At the age of 17, she worked as a topless dancer at Gold Cup for 2 months. In 1997, while working as a waitress, Susan met Jeff Wright and they married in 1998 while she was 8.5 months pregnant with their son Bradley.
Aww.
And I'm like, it's only a year into this marriage and they're already getting married. That's a that's a quick time.
We're
That's a
only here
quick
into what?
1 year into the relationship and
Oh
they're
yeah,
already
yeah.
getting married. That's too quick for me.
It's too quick for me too, but I've known people who've known each other like 3 days and being like, I'm gonna marry you. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, not my cup
No,
of
me
tea.
neither. It's like, hello. You have to
I have
know.
trust. I have trust issues. Give me time.
I have more issues than trust issues. Trust me, it'll take you a while to get to know me.
I'm an open book, but it's like in another foreign language that you don't understand.
Wait, are you the book from the language of the ring? Please tell me
When
you've seen Lord of the Rings.
no, I have not seen Lord of the
Oh my
Rings.
god, right, okay. My references are lost.
Yeah, I would not understand any of it at all.
No.
So in 2002, um, their daughter Kylie was born. Susan claims that her husband began to abuse her during their first few years of marriage.
Lovely.
So
Fucking patriarchy.
yeah, Jeffrey Wright was characterized by many as a charming, outgoing man who had no trouble meeting women.
Okay. I'd just like to quote, and that's why we drink here, because I love it too much, this. And it's true. From pillar to killer. Every fucking male serial killer, or any serial killer, tends to be the killer of their community because they're narcissists and I hate them.
We'll get into it.
We will. Fuck.
So, friends described him as someone who always liked to have fun, sometimes indulging in drugs and visiting topless clubs.
Each your own.
He met his future wife, Susan, in 1997 on a double date. The following year, the two married when Susan was 8 months pregnant with their child, a son named Bradley. Friends say the marriage seemed to. Friends say marriage seemed to. What?
What?
This is okay. I must have typed this so fucking weird, but
Me, every
so
time.
they say that the marriage seemed to be okay, and that he appeared to be a proud father who enjoyed the stability of family life. Susan Wright was a stay-at-home mom caring for Bradley and the couple's second daughter, Kylie, while Jeffrey Wright worked as a sales representative for carpet and tile companies. But according to Susan Wright, things were not as happy as they appeared to be, according to outsiders. According to her, Jeffrey Wright became controlling around the time of Bradley's birth. He required her to keep him notified of her whereabouts at all times.
I hate this with narcissists. Get them pregnant, marry them. You have full control. I hate it. It is such a fucking trait and a pattern, and I hate it. It's like, no, it's control.
And she was only permitted to leave the house for short periods of time.
Mm-hmm. Asshole.
An unreported visit to the store or a few extra minutes at her parents' house would cause Jeff to accuse her of cheating, she claimed.
We get it? You have a small dick. You need to rub it into our faces.
Susan writes,
Small dick energy.
very small dick energy. Susan Wright claims she was expected to keep a perfect home, and that even a toy on the floor or a dinner that was a few minutes late on the table will send her husband into a fit of rage.
I hate men.
She maintained the fact that she was verbally abused, physically battered, and often raped by her husband. And yes, being raped by your husband does happen. It doesn't matter if you're married.
Yeah.
If she doesn't want it or he doesn't want it, it's rape.
No means fucking no. Get it into your fucking heads. All genders, outside, in between, everyone. If someone says no, then the answer is fucking no. My god, I hate it. Ugh. I already hate the story. See now.
According to his wife, Jeffrey Wright's temper became more explosive when he used cocaine.
Oh god.
Upon his death, the medical examiner found traces of the illegal drug in his system. Susan Wright also
Is
said
there?
woman. Yes.
Oh.
We are doing Murderesses.
I forgot for a second there.
Susan Wright also said woman her husband was having
Yeah, and
affairs
what?
with would regularly call the house, and that she contracted herpes from him.
Oh wow. Fucking. Not only is the bitch sleeping around, but he could at least check it every so often. Come on. Get checked. Sexual health is important. PSA to everyone here, get checked.
But it wasn't until Jeffrey Wright began directing his anger towards his children. Susan Wright claimed that she decided to issue an ultimatum to her husband. So this is what I'm speaking right now is what she is claiming. We don't know if it's true because the dude's fucking dead.
Okay, I know, but there's backup sources. I'm assuming he killed her. She killed him for a reason.
Yeah. So on the evening of January 13th, 2003, Jeffrey Wright came home from a boxing lesson. Susan Wright claims her husband appeared to be under the influence of drugs at the time. Later that evening, she said Bradley came to her crying, saying that his father had hit him. After putting the children to bed, Susan Wright approached her husband about seeking help for his anger and drug use. She said, and that if he refused, she would be forced to leave him.
You go, girl.
The ultimatum, according to Susan Wright, prompted a violent reaction. She claimed her husband pushed her to the floor, kicked her repeatedly in the stomach, then dragged her to the bed and raped her.
That I'm sorry, but that sounds about right. You dared to challenge his authority, so of course he had to drill it back into you that he's big boss. Ugh.
Susan Wright claimed that after the sexual encounter was over, she was lying in her bed with her eyes closed. She heard her husband say, "Die, bitch." When she opened her eyes, she claimed she saw her husband hovering over her with a knife. Driven by self-preservation and maternal instinct, she said the 5'5", 120-pound Susan Wright was able to push her 6'3", 220-pound husband aside and grabbed a knife from him. In a
Okay,
frenzied
hell hath no fury that a woman scorned, and let alone a mother scorned. That's like hell hath no fury.
in a frenzied struggle, she stabbed a man again and again, fearing that he would kill her if she stopped. When
Mm-hmm.
Bradley came to the door, she brought the boy back to bed, assuring him everything was all right before she returned to her bedroom and continued to stab her husband. And
Overkill.
this is from her later testimony. I stabbed him in the head, and I stabbed him in the neck, and I stabbed him in the chest, and I stabbed him in the stomach, and I stabbed him in his leg for all the times he kicked me, and I stabbed his penis for all the times he made me have sex with him when I didn't want to.
I don't blame her. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I don't blame her at all. If I could, I would have.
So this is what the prosecution has found. So according to evidence that was presented by the prosecution, on Monday, January 13th, 2003, Susan Wright, 26, tied her husband, Jeff Wright, 34, to their bed and stabbed him 193 times with two different knives.
Marks.
What?
Well, the evidence of him being tied, like marks on his like wrists or something. If you're tied,
Yeah.
was there evidence? Was there?
Um, we'll get into it.
Okay, I'm just jumping forward.
She then took his body to the backyard in their Houston home and buried him. At that time, Jeff was in the middle of doing some home improvement on the patio, but unknown to him that he was digging his own grave.
Boom.
He attempted to clean up the crime scene by cleaning up the bedroom and painting it. The next day, Wright filed a domestic abuse report in order to get a restraining order on her husband in a way to explain his absence. So, according to the evidence presented in the 2010 punishment trial, it was shown that the prosecution's theory that Jeff was tied to the bed was not supported by the medical examiner who excavated the body. The medical examiner
It was
testified.
not supported.
Yeah,
Cool.
the medical examiner testified that Jeff had a significant amount of cocaine in his body the night he died, so much so that his body had not metabolized all that cocaine. The cocaine evidence supported the defense's assertion that Jeff was intoxicated the night of his death. When he came home from a boxing class and he punched his son, Jeff had. Oh. The cocaine evidence supported the defense's assertion that Jeff was intoxicated the night of his death when he came home from a boxing class while he punched his son. Okay, so Jeff also had several knife wounds on his hands, forearms, back, and the back of his leg, indicating that defensive wounds were inconsistent to being tied to a bed.
I hate how like it's almost like the prosecution made out like it was some sort of sex game or something gone wrong with that whole being tied to the bed.
Yeah.
Also, how the hell would she tie him to the bed? If they maybe made him a point of the fact that she's what 5'5" and he's 6'3",
Yes.
he'd have to be consensual for them to be tied to the bed.
I was watching I was watching a movie when I was a little kid. I remember watching this movie. That's how I got this trial or this case in my head. Um, what they depicted was him like passed out or like slightly passed out, and she like took him and tied him. But then again, evidence did not match to what the medical
Yeah.
examiner had. On January 18th, Wright asked her attorney, Neil Davis, to come over to the home. She admits to Davis to stabbing her husband. Davis contacted the Harris County District Attorney's Office to inform them a body was buried under Susan Wright's home and that she had confessed to the murder.
Mm-hmm.
Only 13 months after her arraignment, Susan's murder trial commenced on February 24th, 2004. She had already pleaded not guilty to killing her husband by reason of self-defense.
Don't blame her.
Wright's prosecutor and defense attorney had very different portrayals of her. Assistant District Attorney Kelly Seigler depicted Wright as a scheming wife who seduced her husband into bed, tied him up, repeatedly stabbed him, and then buried his body in their backyard
Oh, fuck off.
in all hopes of collecting a $200,000 life insurance policy.
Sorry, I'm just all for the idea that if she was a victim, then I don't blame her. But I know, okay, I can't. I know there is no Only two people know what happened that night and one of them's dead, and I know that, but still, it's a case of if her friends knew about how abusive he was, there's prior evidence.
So I did inflation calculators for both of our countries.
Okay.
So the inflation for America is $285,325.57. So $200,000 equivalent back in 2003 in British pounds would be 152,513 pounds.
Wow.
And with the British inflation, that would equal to 465,000 pounds. So that's almost double, a little over double of what she would have gotten. And if she
Yeah.
lived in the UK. A lot of money, but still I wouldn't kill anybody for that money.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's not worth it. Not
So Rice's defense attorney, Neil Davis, claimed that his client had suffered years of physical and emotional abuse by her husband and killed him to protect herself and two young children.
mhm.
At her trial, Susan testified in her own defense. In her emotional testimony on the stand, she claimed, I should probably make this comical, but I know I shouldn't.
No. Okay, just do it however you want to. Come on.
I couldn't stop stabbing him. I couldn't stop. I knew as I stopped, he was going to get the knife back and he was going to kill me. I didn't want to die.
Oh, I don't know. There was something about that comical voice. It made me very uncomfortable.
That's my plan.
Oh, I no. I had no idea that was your plan. I had no idea your plan was to make me uncomfortable.
He testified that on the night of the murder, Jeff was on a cocaine binge and was violent, having allegedly beaten her up. Susan once again persisted that she stabbed her husband in self-defense. Susan Wright's mother, among others, testified for the defense, claiming that they were witnesses to her bruises, or did I tell?
Yeah,
Oh, did I even tell you how many times he got stabbed?
yeah. Something so like 300. You said something like that.
Oh no, he got stabbed like 190 something times.
I knew it was over 100. I just went for the other side of things.
Um, so the assistant district attorney, um, Siegler was not impressed by Wright's statements. Siegler believed that Wright's tears were faked for the jury's benefit. Representing their case, the prosecution presented an unusual demonstration by bringing the Wright's actual bed into the courtroom. Using her co-counsel, Siegler depicted how she believed Susan Wright had tied her husband to the bed and stabbed him to death. And I saw photos from the child. They actually brought the fucking bed and had their council member or something like that tied onto the bed. I'm like, this is really weird.
Okay, that was evidence he was not tied to the bed.
Yeah, he
Get
was
rid of that
not.
fucking idea. It's like you're beating a dead horse there. That was a bit insensitive. Sorry, no, you're stabbing a dead man.
So during closing arguments, Siegler brought up how the jury, uh, she brought up the jury how Wright had been a topless dancer and reiterated how she believed Wright's emotions were insincere. Which I don't know how the topless dancer thing relates to the case, but whatever. Um,
Mhm.
she contended that Susan Wright was a card-carrying, obvious, no doubt about it, caught red-handed, confirmed, documented liar.
Didn't she admit that she did this though?
Yeah.
So you see, it's not like, oh yeah, we found out that you got caught. It's a case of she actually told someone and went, I had no choice to get out my abuse. I had to do this. Oh,
Yep. She was a card-carrying, obvious, no doubt about it, caught red-handed, confirmed, documented liar whose frequent shows of emotion during the trial were deliberate efforts to influence the jury.
mm-hmm.
Wright's defense never strayed from their claims. However, Wright had stabbed her husband to death in order to protect herself from her children, herself and her young children.
Mm-hmm.
On March 3rd, 2004, after only 5.5 hours of deliberations, Wright's jury convicted her of murder.
No.
In sharp contrast to her emotional testimony during its trial, Wright showed little reaction to the guilty verdict.
Well, no. Well, you shut down.
Yeah,
Of course,
basically.
you wouldn't show a reaction. You'd shut down. It's when you've exposed yourself in that manner. Which, by the way, this woman deserves everything for the fact that she actually had the energy, and she was strong enough to get on that stand and actually say what happened to her.
Yeah.
But then for someone to go like, oh yeah, well, we don't believe you, we'll convict you of murder anyway, even though you had no choice. No.
The following day came Wright's sentencing. Prosecutors were hoping for at least a 45-year sentence. While Wright's attorney argued for probation of their client, in the end, the jury met in the middle, sentencing Wright to 25 years in prison. In 2005, the 14th Court of Appeals of Texas in Houston upheld Susan Wright's conviction. In 2008, Wright's reappealed, this time a new witness, Misty McMichael, the wife of a former NFL Super Bowl champion Steve McMichael, and ex-fiancé of Jeff Wright. Wow.
Whoa. Talk about fucking going up in the
Wow.
world.
Wow, impressive for her.
Also lucky she got out of that situation.
Yeah. Ex-fiancé of Jeff Wright came forward to tell her story of how she endured abuse and violence during her 4-year relationship with Jeff Wright. So she wasn't the only one.
No, it's quite common. If a man got away with it once, he's gonna do it again. Oh.
In 2009, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals oh my god, English is not my first language. In 2009, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals granted Wright a new sentencing hearing. After determining that Wright's counsel rendered ineffective assistance during the punishment phase of trial in 2004, on November 20th, 2010, Wright was resentenced to 20 years in prison, 5 years less than her original sentence. Barring another appeal, eligible for parole on February 28th, 2024. She'll be
At least
48
that's
years
2
old.
years.
Yeah.
I know, but at least it'll be 2 years, and okay, yeah.
That was my case of Susan Wright.
That was a doozy, but also, like, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't do the whole thing of sympathizing with the murderers, but no. Okay, maybe if they want to try and claim that her whole story was fake, one thing. The family witnesses, okay, family and friends, you could claim tainted, but for his ex-fiancée to come out and actually say, this is what happened to me as well, how can they again just like, oh yeah, we're not gonna like fucking acquit you? Ugh.
Hey, at least she's not sentenced to life though, because then she wouldn't be able to get out at all.
Her
But
poor children as
I
well.
know her children are our ages, I believe,
Oh god.
because
Yeah.
they got married in 1998. So Bradley's a year older than me, and Kylie was born in 2002, I believe.
So that'll be about
Yeah, 2002. So
about
Kylie,
2019, 20?
yeah. So they would be 19 right
22
now,
and
and they're 24 because I'm 23.
yeah, I
24
can't
and
do math.
20 or something like that.
I failed maths for a reason. Okay.
Can we hear a quick word from my sponsors?
Yes,
Even though we
our
don't have
zero
any.
sponsors.
HelloFresh.
What? Okay, we do not have sponsors from HelloFresh yet. Please sponsor us, HelloFresh. We love
I
you.
do want a quick meal, so come on, HelloFresh.
You're just hungry though.
I know, even though I just ate dinner or ate lunch, I mean. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So
Should I
now onto
get
my
ready
case.
for your doozy of a case?
Yes. Now this one is one which I am really looking forward to, because this is actually the case that got me into true crime, and also I grew up with my mum telling me all about this case. You know, like, we had a book about it. You know, I was educated in this case, but then the more I looked into it, because see, I find that, like, some true crime podcasts, when I've heard them cover this case, they haven't done it justice, because it's like, oh yeah, we go like, oh yeah, with the whole murders thing. But there's so much more to it. So, have you heard of, I'm pretty sure you've heard of her, Elizabeth Bathory, the Countess of Blood?
Oh, the Countess of Blood. Yes, I heard of her.
Yes. This is an absolute doozy. But I have been so excited to cover this, and this is why I had 1 second. Because this is going to be a long story, guys, and I'm not even sorry. It's about time this woman
Oh
got her
my
justice.
god, I just realized, I just didn't, I didn't even press record on the
You didn't.
fucking, on the video. I thought I pressed it.
I put all this makeup on.
Should we go back? Hey, maybe next time.
I put all this makeup on.
I swear to God, I thought I pressed record. What the fuck?
I mean, we could do like half record, half, like, you can put like the half of the first half audio on, then with the second half video.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Going now, is it?
Huh?
Have you actually pressed record yet?
No.
You are recording the audio, aren't you?
Oh, the audio is recording, yes.
Oh god, yes.
The video is not recording. I thought it was, but at least I know it's working now. I thought I pressed record. Okay. I'm a dumbass. This is my first time doing a video episode.
I have been pulling faces this entire time.
I've been too.
Next time.
Well, the listeners don't know what we're don't know about my penis plush. They don't know what it looks like.
Oh, scar either.
They can't see you. They can't see you. Oh yeah, you're a scar. Or they can't see you eating a bag of chips or eating a bag of French fries. Or something like that. Wow, I done fucked up, but that's fine.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's fine. Next
Oh
time.
well. Yeah. It's fine, I'll just make a bunch of TikTok later on to like make up for my makeup. Oh well. Right, should we actually go into my case now since we're just on audio?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start recording. I'm
Um,
recording video now, so I'll be like,
Wait, are
here's
you?
the part. Yeah, here's the part where you guys missed out on everything that's been going on. So here's the video part of the show. And now,
Yeah.
and now Amy can tell their story.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not like I've been I've like showing people my penis for nothing. No one saw it.
Penis scar, not penis, actual penis.
Yeah. Yes. Oh. Okay, just before I start my story, because don't cut out the whole penis plushy bit.
I won't.
Let's just give it a second, and just quickly show them your penis plushie again. Now we're actually showing video.
Yeah, let me scoot back in my
Because
chair.
you're gonna be very confused, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and in between.
So I got listeners, viewers, whoever. I got a penis.
Yeah, you
plush.
heard it in the beginning of it.
Yeah. Wow, my microphone's picking up a lot of movement, but that's okay. Here's a penis plush, and it can go erect, and it makes Amy uncomfortable because
It does. I did not start a podcast to see an erect penis.
Well,
or even a flaccid penis.
It goes down, like down, so down. I'm like, really? And it comes with like, I forgot to show you. It comes with like pockets.
Why would you have pockets in your penis?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to like, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be like a foreskin or something. Ew.
Oh, sorry. If I found out that men had pockets in their foreskin, Fuck, is that how you lose your loose change? Is that you just put it on your fucking penis?
Oh, gross. No. Anyways, that was my penis plush, and now he's resting on the bed.
Oh my god, I can't believe that. Tell your boyfriend I say thank you.
I will.
I'm sure you will. Anyway.
Finally, a video party episode.
Oh, I know, yeah, the video party episode. Because someone forgot to press play.
This is our first time doing a video episode. Don't judge me.
Not that you can tell. We are professionals.
We are totally professionals at this.
I don't know what you're on about. Okay, so this is the doozy part. Because this is my girl, my woman, Elizabeth Bathory, Countess of Blood. Countess Elizabeth Bathory, or Erzsébet Bathory, was a wealthy and powerful Hungarian noblewoman whose relations included an uncle who was King of Poland and a nephew who was Prince of Transylvania. So, my girl's connected. 2010, not 2010. It's not 2010, it's a bit more back in time than that. It'd be funny if it was 2010. Okay, in 1610, she was accused of gruesome acts of serial murder and confined to her home of Castle CS8, where she remained until her death. Yes, I had to Google that. I'm pretty sure that is the CS8 one. Anyway. Bathory is reputed to have killed at least 600 victims. 600. Earning her a Guinness World Record for the most prolific most prolific female murderer.
600?
600. But that's reputed. All hearsay.
Jeez.
Reputed. And this is why my take's going to be a lot different to other true crime podcasts. Because I have gone deep into this one, guys. Deep. Deeper than Randy's penis plushie.
That's pretty deep, too.
I'm not even sorry. That was there. Oh my god. Let me just vibrate the camera. Her actions resulted in a nickname of the Blood Countess, and it may have been a source of inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula. However, it is possible Bathory was not guilty of all the crimes that have been laid at her feet. In 1989, writer Michael Farrin stated the accusations against Bathory were supported by testimony from more than 300 individuals, some of whom described physical evidence and the presence of mutilated, dead, dying, and imprisoned girls found at the time of her arrest. The charges levelled against Bathory have also been described as a witch hunt. Okay, and this I should have really actually worked out how to say. Oh, I did write the English beside it, yay. In a 2018 article for Prosiglad Norek History Series, I can't even pronounce that, but basically I think it is a where did I say it was? A modern day something. Anyway, it is Transylvanian, Hungarian for historical science review. Alexandra Bartay-Switch stated that when Bathory was persecuted, the accusations were spectacle to destroy her family's influence in the region, which was considered a threat to the political interests of her neighbours, including the Habsburg Empire. So, our girl was a powerful woman in a time when people didn't like women having power.
A+ to her on that.
Pardon?
A+ to her on that.
Yeah. Also, this wasn't a weak woman. And I'm not saying she's innocent. Before anyone comes at me, I am not saying she's innocent. I'm just saying she's deeper than some people think she is. This woman, she was a feminist. All for the women. And probably bathe in them, but still. I mean, if I could bathe in women, please. Legends describing Bathory's vampiric tendencies, such as the tale that she bathed in the blood of virgins to retain her youth, were generally recorded years after her death and are considered unreliable. Stories about Bathory quickly became part of national folklore. Many insist she inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1897, although Stoker's notes on the novel provide no direct evidence to support this hypothesis. Nicknames and literary epithets have attributed to her include the Blood Countess and Countess Dracula. Now, Countess Dracula is a book that I sat on my shelf growing up, and I'm pretty sure I read it back when I was like 10 years old. Yes, I was that one. I grew up in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was obsessed with Twilight. I love vampires. This is why Elizabeth Bathory is like that.
Vibration.
Yeah, that's my phone vibrating. My phone
That
doesn't take
scared
much to
the shit
vibrate.
out of me.
Oh, sorry. But no. So yeah, Countess Dracula, so shout out to my mum for having that book on her shelf. Because my mum's fucking amazing and cool. And also as obsessed with vampires and gave me my whole obsession with vampires. But you know what? One day I want to do a complete deep dive. It will probably be for Patreon. I want to one day go on a deep dive with Lilith.
Ooh.
Do you know who Lilith is?
Isn't that like the demon? Or
It's more than that. She's Adam's first wife. Because Adam was married before Eve. But I will save it because I have done such a deep dive on her before. That will be a Patreon content for I don't know how much for yet. But I will do that one day. I have to. Okay, so let's start on the actual story of Bathory. What's the story of Bathory? Did you ever watch Balamory? Oh my god! Okay, it's a CBeebies one from England, and it was like the best thing ever. Balamory. So any English person will know of my generation will know exactly where that came from. Anyway, Bathory was born on August 7th, 1560, on a family estate in Nyírbeta, Royal Hungary. She spent her childhood at Exeter Castle. Her father was Baron George VI of Bathory of the Exeter branch of the family, brother of Andrew Bonaventure Bathory, who had been Vivode of Transylvania. Her mother was Baroness Anna Bathory, 1539 to 1570, daughter of Stephen Bathory of Sumlio, also Vivode of Transylvania, who was of the Sumlo branch. Through her mother, Elizabeth was also niece of the Hungarian noble Stephen Bathory, 1533 to 1586, the King of Poland, the Grand Duke of Lithuania, how has the battery just gone like that? Oops. The Grand Duke of Lithuania of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and the Prince of Transylvania. Her older brother, Stephen Bathory, 1555 to 1605, served as the Judge Royal of Hungary. So, she was powerful. She came from a lot of powerful figures. She was a hell of a woman. Okay. As a child, Bathory suffered multiple seizures that may have been caused by epilepsy. At the time, symptoms relating to epilepsy were diagnosed as falling sickness, and treatments included rubbing blood of a non-sufferer on the lips of an epileptic, or giving the epileptic a mix of non-sufferer's blood and a piece of skull as the episode ended.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. This was the Middle Ages.
Oh, gross.
I know. A proposal made by some sources in order to explain Bathory's cruelty later on in her life is that she was trained by her family to be cruel. Stories include a young Bathory witnessing brutal punishments executed by her family's officers and being taught by family members involved with Satanism and witchcraft. Again, there is no hard evidence for these claims, so they remain unsubstantiated. So yeah, people are really giving this girl a backstory. Satanism and witchcraft. It's like, then that comes into the whole, she bathed people's blood to remain young. It's a big thing. Bathory was raised a Calvinist Protestant. As a young woman, she learned Latin, German, Hungarian, and Greek. Born into a privileged family of nobility, Bathory was endowed with wealth, education, and prominent social rank. At the age of 11 to 13, Bathory, who was considered a beautiful and well-educated girl, became engaged to Count Fenerick Nadasady. Some accounts of her life include her giving birth to an illegitimate child, fathered by another man before her marriage. The child, said to have been fathered by a peasant boy, was supposedly given away to a local woman who was trusted by the Bathory family. The woman was paid for her actions, and the child was taken to Wallachia, or something like that. Evidence of this pregnancy came up long after Elizabeth's death through rumours spread by peasants. Therefore, the validity of that rumour is often disputed.
Can't have that peasant boy blood in their bloodline, apparently.
No, welcome to the royals. They send things off.
Maybe he had
a 15-year-old Bathory.
Maybe he had a big dick, so maybe they need that in their family line.
Yeah, like the plushie.
Yeah, like the plushie. Dear Christ.
I'll be 30 seconds. Yes, especially like fucking plushie. Oh, I hate it. I really do. I love it and I hate it. Oh, okay. A 15-year-old Bathory married Count Fenerick Nasadadi, a member of Nadasady family in what was probably a political arrangement within the circles of the aristocracy. He was the son of Baron Tamas Nasadadi de Nadadas. I've definitely searched how to googled how to say this. Et Fogurasfuld and Ursula Canise. Bathory and Nadasady were married at the top of the palace of Vranov nad Toplul, Varanu in Hungarian, on 8th of May 1575. The couple's first child was born 10 years later in 1585. Bathory gave birth to 5 children. 2 died as infants. 2 died as infants, but 2 daughters and a son survived. Nadasady's wedding gift to Bathory was his household, castle of Ciasate, situated in the Little Carpathians near Vag-Ulhili and Treskin, present-day Nove Mesto nad Vahum and Trenčín, Slovakia. The castle had been bought by his mother in 1569 and given to Nadasdy, who transferred it to Elizabeth during their nuptials, together with Ciasate country house and 17 adjacent villages. So our girl didn't do bad out of this marriage.
PSA for our viewers or listeners that are in Hungarian, Amy is trying her best to pronounce whatever the fuck the name is.
I have done amazingly there. Shush. I definitely... I should have googled a lot of pronunciations. I thought I did quite well by googling Ciasate Castle because it is pronounced Csejte. So yeah.
I'll give you a cookie for that.
Thank you. I googled the one which comes up the most because I was like, there we go. I should have Googled a lot of stuff. Because I am fantastic. Just give me a second to have a quick drink. Mm-hmm. In 1578, Nadaste became the chief commander of the Hungarian troops, leading them to war against the Ottomans. With her husband away at war, Bathory managed business affairs and the estates. Powerful woman. This role usually included some responsibility for the Hungarian and Slovak people, providing medical care during the Long War, which was 1593 to 1606, and Bathory was charged with the defence of her husband's estates, which lay on the route to Vienna. So, she wasn't just sat around being like, oh my god, is my husband coming home? This bitch was on it. She was like, nope, there's work to be done. I'm gonna get my hands dirty in this. I don't need no man.
I wish I was more like her, but I need a man.
Oh, I know. The threat of attack was significant for the village of CS8. CS8? I literally just googled it, yeah, CS8 had previously been plundered by the Ottomans, while Sarvar, located near the border that divided Royal Hungary and Ottoman-occupied Hungary, was in greater danger. There were several instances where Bathory intervened on behalf of destitute women, including a woman whose husband was captured by the Ottomans and a woman whose daughter was raped and impregnated.
Yikes.
So, yeah, she was there for the villagers. Again, not saying she was a great woman. This is her backstory. Things change, people change. Bathory's daughter, Anna Nadaste, was born in 1585 and was later to become the wife of Nicola VI Zarinsky. Bathory's other known children include Ursula or Orsika Nadaste, 1592 unknown, who would later become the wife of Istvan in Benio. Kata or Katerina, Nadaste, 1594 to unknown, Andreas Nadaste, 1596 to 1603, so 7 years old, and Pal or Paul Nadaste, 1598 to 1650, so yeah, they did the best. Father of Franz III Nadaste, who was one of the leaders of the Magnate conspiracy against Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I. Some chronicles also indicate that the couple had another son named Miklos Nadaste, although this cannot be confirmed, and it could be that he was simply a cousin or died young, as he is not named in Bathory's will from 1610. Georgi Nadaste is also supposedly the name of one of the deceased. Oh shit, my phone's dying. Right, give me 30 seconds. Georgi Nadaste is also supposedly the name of one of the deceased Nadaste infants, but this cannot be confirmed. All of Elizabeth's children were cared for by governesses, as Bathory herself had been. Then, unfortunately, Fenerick Nadaste died on the 4th of January 1604 at the age of 48. Although the exact nature of the illness which led to his death is unknown, it seems to have started in 1601 and initially caused debilitating? I don't speak English. Debilitating pain in his legs. From that time, he never fully recovered and in 1603 became permanently disabled. He had been married to Bathory for 29 years. Before dying, Nadaste entrusted his heirs and widow to Georgi Thurzo. who would eventually lead the investigation into Bathory's crimes. So, again, conflict of interest, because he was going to lead the investigation, but her husband left her to him, basically. Ugh.
No.
Bathory was accused of a hunting litany of crimes against both female servants and minor noblewomen who'd come to her for training and education. Most of her alleged assaults and murders took place after she was widowed in 1604. I'll come back to that later on. Some of Bathory's victims were covered in honey and left outside for insects to devour. So, ew. During colder parts of the year, young women may have been stripped naked and forced into deadly ice baths. Again, no. Bathory sometimes tortured girls by driving needles into their fingers, cutting their noses or lips, and whipping them with stinging nettles. Again,
What?
no. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. She would bite shoulders and breasts. Okay, weirdly intimate. As well as burning the flesh, including genitals of some victims. The intimate nature of Bathory's attacks suggests a sexual motivation, although it's impossible to know with certainty what compelled her to act. So, kinky.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't say that. Great for a start on my lovely ice tonic. Depictions of Bathory often mention her bathing in the blood of virgin victims in an attempt to recapture her lost youth. However, this depraved action isn't backed up by oh, for God's sake, it's a big massive word, contemporaneous witness accounts, which otherwise did not shy away from the gore. The first mention of Bathory's bloodbaths came 100 years after her death, and thus seems to be an invention. Oh, fuck. On December 29th, 1610, Matthias II assigned Gorje Thurzo, the Palatine of Hungary, to investigate. Thurzo ordered two notaries, Andras Keresaturi and Moses Zaraki, to collect evidence in March 1610. By October 1610, they had collected 52 witness statements. By 1611, the number had risen to over 300. Count Gorje Thurzo, who oversaw judicial matters as the Lord Palatine of Hungary, I've already said that, oops, arrived at Bathory's castle of CS8 to investigate the Countess's alleged crimes against women of noble birth. Any mistreatment of servants, however, this is big. Any mistreatment of servants was not a concern to the authorities because fuck capitalism. But they were only worried about the noble people. So in theory, if she had stuck to torturing her servants, she would have got away with it. Her mistake was she got hungry. Like the vampire she is. Anyway. He reportedly surprised Bathory in the middle of tormenting a victim, and in response immediately imprisoned her in her home. So, I don't believe that anyway. Her high status meant she would not be jailed as a common criminal. Because again, capitalism. According to testimonies, Bathory's first victims were girls aged 10 to 14 years. Bathory is said to have begun killing daughters of the lesser gentry who were sent to her gymnasium by their parents their parents to learn courtly etiquette. The use of needles was also mentioned by collaborators in court. There were many suspected forms of torture carried out by Bathory. According to Budapest City Archives, the girls were burnt with hot tongs and then placed in freezing cold water.
Jeez.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Some witnesses named relatives who died while at gymnasium. Others reported having seen traces of torture on dead bodies, some of which were buried in graveyards, and others in unmarked locations. 2 court officials, Benedict Diso and Jacob Zilvasi, claimed to have personally witnessed the Countess torture and kill young servant girls. No. On 12th of December 1610, Nicholas Zarinsky confirmed the agreement with Thurzo about the imprisonment of Bathory and its distribution of her estate. Again, they wanted her estate. On 30th December, Thurzo went to Searsate Castle and arrested Bathory, along with 4 of her servants, who were accused of being her accomplices. Dorothea Semtizes, Iona Joe, Katerina Benica, and Jonas Uvri,
You got
Ibis
this.
or Fico. Look, I don't speak Hungarian. Actually, funnily enough, I've got friends who are Hungarian. That's what's funny is I should have like messaged to being like, do you know what this means? I should have actually done that. I'm an idiot.
Like, why do you need all these names?
Because it comes back. CSA Castle, yeah. According to Thurzo's letter to his wife, his unannounced visit found one dead girl and another living prey girl in the castle, but there is no evidence that they asked her what happened to her. Although it is commonly believed that Bathory was caught in the act of torture, she was having dinner. So, unless she was multitasking, I don't think so. Initially, Thurzo made the declaration to Bathory's guests and villagers that he had caught her red-handed. However, she was arrested and detained prior to the discovery or presentation of the victims. It seems most likely that the claim of Thurzo's discovering Bathory covered in blood has been the embellishment of fictionalized accounts. So, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, fucking patriarchy. The court proceedings began early in July 1611. The servants denied their culpability in the murders but admitted to burying multiple victims, though the number in their accounts varied between 36 and 51. In addition to shifting blame to their mistress and each other, they also implicated a deceased servant, Darvulia, who'd served as maid and governess. 2 of the women and the male servant were sentenced to death, which was quickly carried out. The fourth was spared immediate execution. What happened to her afterwards is unknown. Another woman who'd supposedly used magic to aid Bathory was also soon killed. So again, massive fucking witch hunt. Whew. After these executions, Thurzo continued to investigate the Countess. One witness stated that Bathory herself had listed 650 victims in her papers. 650?
50?
Yeah. 650.
Yikes.
Though the numbers of victims varied in other testimonials, and the Countess's exact death toll remains unknown. The evidence gathered by Thurzo also included 289 witness statements. As a member of the powerful family, Bathory was not put on trial. Instead, she was isolated, perhaps walled up, in Castle Cersate, where she remained until her death in 1614. So again, yeah, she wasn't even tried. That's the thing. She wasn't tried because of the fact she was rich. So they were like, we'd better avoid this public scandal. As I was about to say. Thurzo debated further proceedings with Bathory's son Paul and two of her son-in-laws, Nicholas V. Zarinsky and Georgi Drugeth. Her family, which ruled Transylvania, sought to avoid the loss of Bathory's property, which was at risk of being seized by the crown following a public scandal. Thurzo, along with Paul and her two sons-in-law, originally planned for Bathory to be sent to a nunnery, but as accounts of her actions spread, they decided to keep her under strict house arrest. Most of the witnesses testified they had heard the accusations from others but did not see it themselves. The servants confessed under torture, which is not credible in contemporary proceedings. They were the king's witnesses, but they were executed. Iona Joe and Dorothea Zelenskys had their fingers torn out with a pair of red-hot pincers and were then burned alive.
What?
Yeah, that's why her name was important. Again, so they fucking tortured these people. A lot of the testimony was obtained under torture. So of course, if you're torturing someone, they'll say anything. Ugh. I'm not saying she's an innocent human being. I'm just saying
Yikes.
It's not credible.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Due to his youth and the belief he was less culpable, because of course fucking patriarchy, Honos Uveri was executed by a much less painful method, beheading. Afterwards, his body was burned on the same pyre as Joe and Zelensky's. Zentes. Other servant, Urzi Majarova, initially escaped capture, but was burned alive after being captured. Katerina Benica received a life sentence after the evidence showed that she'd been abused by other women. So, Right. Here comes the pièce de la résistance, however. Because you've heard all of that, yes, it was bad. It's gruesome. But the accusations of murder were based on rumours. There is no document to prove that anyone in the area complained about the Countess. In this time period, if someone was harmed, or someone even stole a chicken, a letter of complaint was written. 2 trials were held in the wake of Bathory's arrest. The first was held on the 2nd January 1611, and the second on the 7th of January 1611. The highest number of victims cited during the trial of Bathory's accomplices was 650, but this number comes from a claim by a servant girl named Susanna that Jacob Zilvasi, Bathory's court official, had seen the figure in one of Bathory's private books. The book was never revealed, and Zilvasi never mentioned it in his testimony. So, let me just point this out again. There was no evidence, there was no documentation to prove that anyone ever complained about the Countess. And if in this time period, if someone was harmed or if they stole a chicken, a letter of complaint was written. So why is there no evidence of any girls going missing? Or oh no, there'd be some sort of paper trail, but there is no paper trail. So that's a bit sus.
Very sus.
I know. As she was not convicted of a crime, Bathory's holdings passed to family members instead of being seized. On the 25th of January 1611, Thurzo wrote a letter to King Matthias describing what they had captured and confined Bathory to a castle. The Palatine also coordinated the steps investigation with the political struggle with the Prince of Transylvania, who, if you remember, she's related to. She was detained in the castle of CS8 for the remainder of her life, where she died at the age of 54. As Georgie Thurzo wrote, Elizabeth Bathory was locked in a bricked room, but according to other sources, written documents from the Visit of Priests, July 1614, she was able to move freely and unhindered in the castle, more akin to house arrest. She wrote a will in September 1610, in which she left all current and future inheritance to her children. In the last month of 1614, she signed her arrangement, in which she distributed the estates, lands, and possessions among her children. On the evening of 20th of August 1614, Bathory complained to her bodyguard that her hands were cold, whereupon he replied, "It's nothing, mistress. Just go lie down." She went to sleep and was found dead the following morning. She was buried in the church of CS8 on 25th November 1614, but according to some sources, due to the villagers' uproar over having the Countess buried in a cemetery, her body was moved to her birth home at CS8, where it was interred in the Bathory family crypt. The location of her body today is unknown, but it's believed to be buried deep in the church area of the castle. The CS8 church and the castle of CS8 do not bear any marking of her possible grave. So before I go into my last bit, let's talk about that for a second. There was no evidence before the whole her trial. Her trial is the first paper trail of anything.
Oh yeah, because he said if anything happens, you gotta have things
There's gonna be
written complaints about stuff before that.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, there's no document to prove that anyone in the area complained about the Countess. In this time period, if someone was harmed or someone even stole a chicken, a letter of complaint was written. So there is no evidence before this. No evidence of, no written statement or complaint about how, my daughter went up to the castle and was murdered and went missing. Yeah. This is why I went deep in this one, because this is the case which I feel like gets a lot of injustice. Okay, so this is of the last bit now. The evidence against Bathory has flaws, obviously. Of 289 witness accounts, more than 250. So, out of 289, more than 250 offered either hearsay or no information whatsoever. Okay, wait, elevator music for 30 seconds. I forgot I put food in the oven. I'm an idiot. Oh, you've gone.
Sorry, I had to do something too. Where's my headphones? Here you go. Okay.
I forgot I had food in the oven. I forgot entirely about it.
Did it burn?
Actually, you know what? It could have been worse because in fact it's been cooking for an hour longer than it was meant to.
Oh.
But it was a slow cooked pasta bake anyway, so it's fine. I think it's just the cheese at the top got a bit burnt. Lucky. Okay. Whew. The evidence against Bathory had flaws. Of 289 counts, more than 250 offered either hearsay or no information whatsoever. The testimony that Bathory had listed 650 victims was a second-hand accounting of what a court official had discovered, yet the official who supposedly seen this information did not testify, which I mentioned before. Many of the witnesses who spoke against Bathory were beholden to Thurzo, who oversaw the entire investigation, and the fact that Bathory's servants were tortured makes their confessions unreliable. Why might Bathory have been subject to outside machinations? Imprisonment, again, like I said, there was this powerful woman. She had over 16 to 17 estates. She had a lot of power. Imprisonment allowed family members to take control of the powerful widow's possessions. Her sons-in-law knew beforehand that her arrest was coming, and the Habsburg court owed her money that they did not want to pay. And as I mentioned earlier on, Bathory's support of her nephew, Prince Gabor Bathory of Transylvania, who was in conflict with the ruling Habsburgs, potentially placed her in danger. However, it's unlikely Bathory was completely innocent. In 1602, a priest wrote a letter that discussed the excessive cruelty exhibited by Bathory and her husband towards their servants. The testimony against Bathory could have included true tales about how harshly she acted with lower classes, but such acts weren't illegal at the time. Bathory was only punished because her victims were said to have included noble women. But that would still make Bathory responsible for many ruined lives. And that was the story of Elizabeth Bathory.
Oh, it literally cut off at like the last 2 minutes.
It did. It really did. Oh, well, I am actually going to put the investment into changing my phone number just so I can go to the unlimited data one.
Yeah.
I bet I'll get my Wi-Fi. Oh, my face is all red. You can tell I just ran to the shop to get a top-up card.
Oh, you ran to the shop to get a data top off.
Yeah.
And maybe you need home internet.
I think I might need to actually invest in that. Oh fuck! But it's been like less than 2 days, and I'm like already like, oh god, no. Oh, I'll investigate how to change mobile data providers later.
All right. Well, wow, that case was.
It was a
bonkers.
Doozy. But it's like it says at the end, she wasn't innocent. She probably acted terribly towards the lower classes and her servants. But there was no evidence.
Yeah.
Except for the word of mouth. And the fact, her servants were tortured. So I'm not saying she's innocent. I'm just saying everything was going against her. And there's quite a lot of evidence that everything was not quite as it says. And again, like I said, this was a woman who had, after her husband died, she had the control of all of his estates. And, she was like, she was related to a lot of the royals. She was a fucking powerful woman. And they didn't like that she was unmarried after her husband died. Oh,
Doozy. What a doozy that case was.
it was an absolute doozy. I'm just a little bit disappointed. This has been such a chaotic episode because I'm so looking forward to this case.
And then your data was like, nope, you don't get to finish your case.
Oh, I know. I was like, no, don't you dare. Oh, poor Melissa. She was just like, are you okay? I was like, no, my data ran out. And then just ran away.
At least your convenience store is right down the street.
Oh god, I know. It's like, it's not even that far from my house. I love how like I have 110% pinpointed my location by now.
Oh, shall we wrap up this episode?
Yes.
This chaotic episode.
It's been so chaos. And now I was thinking I was getting so professional.
I think we'll get it. I think we'll get the hang of it by next week.
Oh, we will. Hope so.
And hopefully I'll press record next week.
I swear to God, you better press record next week.
Alright, if you guys want to follow me on my Twitter, it is Atomic Randy. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Atomic Randy with the underscore between Atomic and Randy. We have a TikTok now, right?
Yes, I set one up last night because I couldn't sleep. It was 3 a.m. There were a lot of things involved in this situation.
I do not know how to TikTok, so I think Amy's gonna take care of that.
Yeah, Amy, it's mainly just gonna be me posting terrible videos, and you're welcome. But yes, it is at Deadly Chaotic Energy Pod. So follow us there, and I will probably do behind the scenes little clips.
Like you should probably take a clip now. Like, here's us fucking up on our show.
Oh, honestly, we are fantastic. We are professionals, okay? I don't know what you're on about. We are absolutely professionals here.
In your social media platforms?
Shit, yeah. Following me on my Instagram is the Posh Geordie. And my Twitter is at Medusa Rants.
And if you guys have
and I have my own personal TikTok if you'd like to go into that, which is just full of just chaos. Because I have no rhyme or reason, and that's just my personality. It is at Medusa Rants as well.
I have a TikTok, but again, I don't ever go on it, so probably might be the same. Might be the same name.
Christine here.
Yeah.
It is literally just me with all the social medias, and you just like, I don't know how to adult.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know
how to adult either. I know how to teenager, because I'm down with the kids.
I barely know how to exist. I'm just here.
Oh, I'm here for the ride.
So if you guys have story recommendation, your own true crime, or even a paranormal story you'd like to share with us, let us know. Or
confessions.
Yeah, or your
give me
your dirtiest tea.
Please.
In the subject line, please sort out if it's a listener story, recommendation, or a confession, because I think we're gonna do alternations.
If it's on confession, label it in the subject line, spill the tea, and I'll sort that out.
Yeah.
There you go. That's gonna be our episodes. Well, it might be Patreon, we don't know yet. It'll be spill the tea.
Or future monthly bonus episodes.
It could be, yeah. Anyway. So, actually, this episode has been true to our podcast, to be fair.
Very deadly chaotic.
It has been deadly chaotic. Oh my god.
We'll get it right the next time, I hope.
We hope. Press record next time, Randy.
I'll try. At least we got the audio going.
Oh, it was just chaos. You're welcome.
I guess that's it, y'all. We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
You'll actually see us next time.
You will. And time after next. I will be in Newcastle because I'm going to go home and visit my family. So,
that is a hint of what we're doing next week.
Pardon?
That, to the listeners and viewers, that is a hint of the next week's episode.
Yes, that is a hint of the subject of the topic of next week's episode.
And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Oh no, don't.